today?
Better than the sound system.
Yeah, we're going to turn that speaker that way. All right, folks, we are doing something a little different today. We are filming for the History Channel, only in America, with Larry the Cable Guy. All right, before we go any further, we have to ask everybody in the audience, is it okay if we film for the History Channel? Is everybody okay out here with that? All right, well, let's get her done. How you folks doing today?
Is anybody wanted by the police? Because you're going to be on camera if you are. The Swamp Master.
All right, guys, you ready for a Gator Show? Yeah, we came a long way to be here. We're excited. I see some kids, too. How you kids doing? Yeah, you having fun here at the Iowa State Fair? Yeah! Eating all that good food? Spending all your mom and dad's money? Way to go, kids. Everybody,
You know why God makes kids so cute?
Why's that, Larry?
You don't slap them around all the time, that's why.
I guess I'm not that cute, that's for sure. My mom's in the audience. She never hit me once, so I'm pretty cute. Hey, guys, everybody, welcome to the Swamp Master Alligator Show with Larry the Cable Guy.
He's the Swamp Master, and I am the Funnel Cake Master.
Larry will be performing Saturday night on the main stage out there. You want to get your tickets to go see that. He is absolutely headlining this state fair. Everybody's going to go see Larry, that's for sure. Well, everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Jeff. I'll be your host, Mr. Larry the Cable Guy. And back here we have Ryan Forklift Lippard. Between the three of us, we're going to tell you and show you a little bit about some alligators we brought up here from Naples, Florida. You know a little bit about Florida down there,
right,
back in Sanford. That's right. Larry's a Florida boy, so on behalf of my company, this wonderful fair, we certainly hope everybody's having a great time here today.
I'm a Florida boy via Nebraska.
That's right. Now, I tell you what.
Back to Nebraska.
I tell you what, Nebraska is awesome, but I know anybody that's seen my show last year knows that I'm an Iowa boy. I grew up here in Iowa. That's right. Pleasantville, Iowa, about 20 miles south of here. Home of the checkerboard. You might know that right there. Now, I got to ask you this. How many Drake Bulldog fans do we have out there? How many UNI Panther fans? Yeah? How about Iowa State Cyclones? How about the Nebraska Cornhuskers?
All right. God bless you, sir. God bless you. Who booed? You're going to be thrown in the pit first. Go get him, would you, Moose?
But I tell you what, all those teams are great. I root for all those teams except when they're playing the Iowa Hawkeyes.
There's one thing Jeff knows how to do. It's wrestle alligators and butt kiss.
Oh, I didn't think I got where I am today. That's for sure. So anyway, we are Iowa Hawkeye fans. Today we're Nebraska Cornhusker fans also, and we're all coming together, that's for sure. Well, folks, the show that you're about to see, Everywhere We Go gets hyped a lot as an alligator wrestling show. You might have heard that term. Heard that term, Larry? Alligator wrestling?
I gotta be honest with you, I have heard it, but the only thing I have wrestled lately is a corn dog away from a couple of girls on the midway, and that's pretty much it.
Well, I tell you what, I find that hard to believe because obviously Larry is in shape. Is he fit or what? He's lost like 60 pounds, man. That is incredible. What have you been doing with
I
that?
got a tapeworm, Jeff.
That's one way.
I was happy to get it.
Well, the show you're going to see is actually hyped as an alligator wrestling show, but absolutely alligators know nothing about wrestling. In fact, if you give one the chance, they'd much rather just turn around, run the opposite direction.
Which is what I'll be doing in 10 minutes.
So the show you're about to see has nothing to do with wrestling. It is an educational show. We travel all around the country performing our show, educating people about alligators. And we do travel around a lot. Get asked a lot of questions about gators, but there's a couple more commonly asked questions than others. And I'm going to go ahead and go over these with you real quick. Then I'm going to get in the water and show you a little bit more about our very strong bull alligator that Larry has had some experience with already earlier in the week. Big bull gators here we have with us here today. Now, the show travels around a lot, and we do handle these alligators, and we get asked a ton of questions. And there's a couple more commonly asked questions than others. I'm going to go ahead and go over these with you real quick. Then I'm going to get in the water and show you a little bit more about our very strong bull alligator we have with us here today. Now, the first question, especially by people getting ready to visit Florida, where I live, happens to be the #1 tourist destination in the world, people do ask, why do alligators attack people? What makes them attack us? Last year in Florida, 14 alligator attacks. Year before that, 13. You have a better chance of going there on a vacation, going out on a lake all day, swimming, splashing around, and actually getting struck by lightning than you do getting attacked by an alligator. But there's 3 basic reasons why they may attack. And the first is a female. She has a nest of eggs or babies. She's a very protective mother. She'll guard her nest with her life. She'll attack anything that comes near it. She's fearless. Second are the male gators, the boys. When they hit about 8 feet in length, about the size of this guy here, they become very territorial. We call these territorial bull alligators. And what that means is he'll claim a body of water, kind of like this is his. He'll defend that territory against other gators or anything else that's stupid enough to get in the water with that big bull gator.
Like me and you.
Hey, wait a minute, we get in there, no way. Third and most dangerous reason living in Florida, alligators are everywhere. At last count, around 1.5 million alligators live in the state there. They occupy all your lakes, your ponds. If you're an avid golfer, which Larry is, you see them on all the golf courses. All your fresh bodies of water can have an
I'm an
alligator in
avid
it.
golfer. Last time I went golfing, it cost me $300, and that was just to pay the paramedic to get my foot out of the windmill. Sorry.
Is that there's so many of them. People, there are thousands of them in Florida. It's not that there's so many, but that people like to feed them. You know, they actually like to make them their pets. And when you feed a wild alligator, as in any wild animal, they'll lose that natural fear that they have of us. And then you create a very dangerous animal. Probably kind of like Larry if you don't feed him. Same way. But it's not that there's so many that people like to feed them. And when you feed an alligator, they'll lose that natural fear that they have of us, and then you create a dangerous animal. So in the state of Florida, it's actually illegal just to feed a wild alligator. If you're caught, they might place you in jail. You definitely get a ticket, not only for our protection, but for the gators too. Those are your 3 basic reasons why they might attack a person. Generally, they're very shy. They'd much rather leave us alone if we choose. Leave them alone. Next question people ask a lot. Man, it gets hot here in Iowa. Same in Nebraska, huh? Midwest?
It is very hot.
Gotta stay hydrated.
I'm wearing a pair of underwear made out of the ShamWow.
When's the last time you changed those, Larry?
Well, until they get full of water. I'm good right now.
Well, the next question people ask me is, where do I get my alligators from? Do I go out into the wild and catch these gators? Well, being a country boy, and as much fun as that can be,
We get them on eBay.
you can actually order an alligator on eBay. That's kind of crazy. That's for sure. But, you know, people ask me where we get our gators from. Well, do I go out into the wild and catch these gators? Absolutely not. That's illegal. They're a protected species. I go to alligator farms and I buy these gators. I purchase them. And on the farms, there's 2 types of alligators that I buy for my show. First is your common farm-raised alligator. A gator is raised on a farm, just like a cow. Just like a chicken for its hide and meat. Very valuable. Shipped all around the world. The day that I buy these gators, the ones that I buy live. The ones that I don't die. I work in my show here only for a couple of weeks, about 10 days worth of shows. Then I'll retire him to a pond that I have in Florida. It's got well over 100 alligators on it now. Never returning them to the farms where they'd surely be killed. They have a much better life with us for a couple of weeks, educating people about them earning the right to live rather than becoming a belt, a boot, a purse, or a steak, which is what his destiny was to be. The second type of gator I get from these farms are my favorite type of alligator to handle, like the one you're going to see here today. Your true wild alligator. Now, I would never go out into the wild and catch an alligator just for my show. That'd be wrong. We would never do that. All the wild gators in my show are considered nuisance alligators. Alligators that were sentenced to death by the state of Florida. They got a little too close to people, probably chasing somebody's dog around. Somebody calls the state calls a trapper comes out, catches and kills that alligator immediately. I work out a deal with a trapper. He takes that gator live to an alligator farm, puts him in a pen, I buy him, bring him here, and we have an alligator show as real as it gets. Once again, retiring him to a no-kill pond where he will live out his life. 2 types of alligators that I handle for my show. Now, a lot of people ask me, why do you swap your alligators out every 10 days for the shows? Well, first of all, that's what separates my alligator show from any other gator show you'll see. We don't want to use the same alligator over and over and over again, like a theme park show you might see down in Florida. Second of all, that same gator that when I get him, that's just ferocious, jumping, snapping, biting, defending himself, just like this gator here. After a few days of me handling him, he'll figure out that I'm not going to hurt him or kill him. And that same alligator will start turning and running away. Because I'm kind of known for bringing a pretty snappy gator. These gators were just shipped up to us from South Florida. This is day number 1 for this alligator. What you're going to see here today is the real deal. There's no smoke and mirrors in the Swamp Master Alligator Show, and I'm going to take my time handling this guy for you. Now let's talk about our gator. Larry, you've met these gators already.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, you met him the other day.
Very nice alligator.
Very good-looking gators. Yeah, we know. You are a gator handler. You've got some gator experience.
No, he's an actual mean alligator.
He is an aggressive alligator, and you're going to see that here in just a minute. This was a wild-caught gator at Lake Okeechobee, a very famous lake down in South Florida about 2 weeks ago. First thing you're going to notice about him is that he's not very big. Not a big alligator. He's 8 feet in length. He's about 220 pounds, and I say he's not big because they've been known to reach 14 feet, and they might weigh 1,000 pounds. So they can get a lot bigger than this. But for educational purposes, he's going to work out just fine. You also notice I'm going to be using a stick here during the show. Used to be that long. Never used to hurt or harm the gator, of course. It's simply to guide and test his reflexes. Alligators are cold-blooded reptiles. And what that means is on a cold day or night, they become very slow and sluggish. Their body temperature drops. They can't move around very much. That same alligator on a hot day with natural heat from the sun, like today, becomes very fast, active, agile, therefore more dangerous to work with. The stick just tells me how quick our gator is during the course of the show. I told you, I get a new gator every couple of weeks for my show. This is day number 1, show number 3 for this alligator. As you're about to see, he is the real deal. He's a big, strong bull gator. Hey, Larry, you know what? I'm going to take my time handling him because if he bites me, you'll hear everything I got to say.
Speak his
I
language.
think that's working. You have to show me how to do that, Larry. All right, we're going to try and do now is get him out here.
It settles my wife down when I do it.
We're going to try and get him out here, make him move around a little bit, show you how he moves. I'm going to try and catch him for you right here in the pool so we can talk about him, look at his features just a little bit more. So, if you ever get out of the state of Florida, Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, Georgia, Arkansas, even the bottom part of North Carolina has gators in it. Find one in your backyard, you don't want him there, this is what you do. You sneak up on him, grab him by his tail, drag him on over to your neighbor's yard and leave him there. That's what you do. No, folks, our gator, quite capable of turning around, biting me in the hand or as high up as the elbow. And that side motion, that's his quickest move. He can't get up on all fours and outrun us like you've heard. You've heard they can outrun a horse. That's not true. Our gator can only run about 10 miles an hour on land. Once chasing me, I do about 12. It's a close race till I get tired. We're going to see if we can get his head up and out of the water. There you go. There's your big gator right there.
You're ridiculous.
Now, that side-to-side lateral motion, that's his quickest move. He can't get up on all fours and outrun us like you've heard. You've heard they can outrun the horse. That's not true.
I'll get him.
Get him, Larry. Let's see if we can get him out here.
Put him over here. I'll put this on his head.
Let's get his attention. You can see our gator's defending himself pretty good.
Oh.
All right.
Holy mackerel.
We're going to get right to the fun part. You ready for this, Larry? Here we go.
As long as I can do it from here.
We're going to go ahead and try and catch him. Now, in doing this, I got 1 of 2 ways I catch gators. First, approach him by the front, grab him by his nose, work my way to the back. Second, this is a fun way.
I'm not laughing at you. That's ridiculous. I mean, you're half sick.
Mom, take care of him.
Oh, sit down, Mom.
All right, now the second way is the fun way. The way I got mauled in here about 2 years ago by a 9-foot alligator. You might have seen that on the Travel Channel when Vacations Attack episode 2.
Show them all your scars.
That was me getting rolled around in here.
38 staples in
That's
the
right. This is the real deal. This is the real
That
part of
was
the
from
show
a
here.
raccoon.
We're going to go ahead and try and catch him now. And that's trying to get him out here, make him strike at me, pick my spot, jump on his back. And that's what I'm going to do. You got to bear with me for just a minute. I got to get him in just the right spot. I'm going to have a little fun here. Have a little fun with me. Here we go.
Bring it out.
All right.
Look at that. That's how I met my wife.
There's your big bull gator right there. Now, if you're ever driving down the road and you see one, you know what to do now, right? Keep driving, just a speed bump. A couple real quick tributes. First, we don't ever want to forget Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. Every kid's hero, every animal's friend. Let's give him a nice round of applause. He was a good guy. Also, a couple of buddies of mine came back from overseas about a year ago, wounded warriors. Great cause. Make sure you give to it if you can. Let's give them a nice round of applause. We're all true heroes. All right. We're going to learn a little bit more about our very strong bull gator here. You might have heard a hissing sound. Warning sign to stay away coming from his nose. 2 tiny holes, that's how he breathes. He goes underwater, he's holding his breath. Usually do so for about 15 minutes, depending on how much he swims around. Look at his eyes, real high on his head. Enables him to keep his body completely underwater, just his eyes sit up on top hunting for food. When in danger, watch this, the eyes sink into the head. Past they pop up. Yeah, that's where Corvette got their idea for their headlights. Gator's brain sits directly behind. I mean, Larry laughed. That was awesome.
John did that to Ronnie Millsap at a party one night.
Gator's brain is very small. It's about twice the size of forklifts. It's tiny. Those have temples much like our own, very soft, very vulnerable to a heavy head blow. The Indians would go out into the swamp, hit these alligators with a hammer with a very long handle on it, hoping to knock them out or kill them so they could harvest them. How many people watch Swamp People? Watch that show? That's the kill spot right there. Remember to go ahead and attempt to open up his jaws and show you his teeth. Now, if you have a camera, this makes a good picture. Usually gives him a chance to bite me. Full-grown Rottweiler dog, 275 pounds per square inch in jaw closing strength. 8-foot alligator, 1,500 pounds per square inch. He crafts a turtle shell, one of his favorite foods, like you and I eat a gumball. But get your cameras ready. What you're going to see now are meaty teeth. 40 on the top, 40 on the bottom. They're all long, thin, pointy. They don't have any dull teeth. Dull teeth are used for chewing. They don't chew food, they swallow everything whole. You're also going to notice a little half-moon-shaped valve in the back of his throat. Enables the gator to bite with the same amount of pressure underwater as he does on top without drowning. And of course, those teeth, he's got a beautiful wild set of them, as you can see. How many teeth does an alligator have? 80! All right, who knows the difference between a gator and a croc? Who knows the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? Anybody yell it out? This snout, an alligator's nose is short, round, and U-shaped. Crocodile's snout kind of long and narrow. What else? Color, alligators are black. They're not green, they're black. Crocodiles are more greenish brown. Teeth, crocodiles' teeth tend to stick out of their mouth much more than an alligator's. What else?
So does a Walmart cashier's.
Size.
I'm just saying.
Some species of crocs get 20 feet long. Alligators very rarely over 14. What else? Name. Who said name? Duh. Several differences between gators and crocs. From here, I'm going to go ahead and attempt, and I say attempt, a technique developed by the Indians hundreds of years ago. They'd go out into the swamp, catch a big alligator by themselves, and tie its mouth shut with a rope. Bring it back alive so they could harvest it at a different day. How do you do that when you're in the swamp by yourself? Catch a gator, tie his mouth. They came up with this very dangerous technique called bulldogging, where they would jump on the back of a gator, place that gator's jaws between their chin and their chest, let go. Tie that alligator's mouth shut. Now, I'm not going to tie it shut with a rope today, but I'm going to try this again. If you have a camera, it makes a pretty good picture. This is called bulldogging with a full eagle spread. Here we go. Appreciate that. Thank you. As you can see there, my hands would have then been free to tie his mouth shut with a rope, which I would have had hanging from my teeth, an old Indian technique. Well, I'm going to try and let him go now, get off his back. That's usually the tricky part. And then we're going to continue and finish the show here. Let's see if we can get off him without taking bite number 15 of my career. There's your big Florida smile right there. How about a nice round of applause for Alligator? He's doing a good job trying to bite me. Very saved the best for last year.
All right, what's that?
Now, if you didn't notice, man, we've been getting up and working out every day. If you didn't notice, I was a little winded, a little tired before I came out.